Hey everybody, and welcome back to A Few Beers and a Shot. I'm Kyle.
I'm Juan.
Today we're going to talk about some truly scary places and some truly scary things out there in the world.
Yes. Truly scary stories, I guess. Urban legends and such and such.
Yeah, that sounds good. It'll be another one of our campfire stories that we did.
Part 2.
Yes. And what will we be drinking today?
Today, sticking to the campfire stories norm, we're going to be drinking Truly Fruit Punch.
Ooh, all right.
So we're sticking with the seltzers for these episodes.
Yes.
And these are 5% alcohol volume. It contains 1% juice, which is good because you got to stay healthy. And these are hard. It's a hard seltzer with juice from concentrate and with other natural flavors.
Yes, sir. And this is actually through the Sam Adams Brewing Company.
Yes.
So we don't really need to go into details about them. So. Ooh, sounds like a campfire.
Look at that. Look at that.
Oh, dude, smell that.
I did smell it. It smells good. Cheers.
Cheers. Tastes like tropical punch.
It does. It's good. I like it. I never had a Truly before. I know you did. But
The only ones I've ever had are the punches, so that's why I saw those.
is that what you got that black eye?
Maybe.
I had the punches.
So what do you want to talk about first with our scary places and scary things that are not stories of our own?
Yes.
They are stories that have been told. Most of them have been stories that have been told.
Yes. We could pull stuff from legend, things that are out there, like real things. I don't know if you could call them real because we didn't experience them, and it's just, I guess, it's, like the whole theme of the campfire stories is like folklore.
Yeah.
But the main topic,
The unknown and
the yes,
supernatural.
yes, the supernatural, urban legend type stuff. So. We were going to originally try to stick to Illinois, but there's just so much interesting stuff out there that I think we grab a little bit from here and a little bit from elsewhere.
Okay.
So,
Well, since we were going to do Illinois initially, how about
Yes.
you start us off with one that is in Illinois?
yes. So one of the things that really caught my eye was a thing called the Devil's Chair. It's in a cemetery, Greenwood Cemetery in Decatur, Illinois. So the story is with these chairs, because they're in other cemeteries as well. It's not specific just to Illinois, but the one in Illinois is pretty famous. So just to give you a little bit of a background on it, it says the Devil's Chair is, a fascinating and eerie urban legend that has found its place in various cemeteries across the United States. One such chair is located in Greenwood Cemetery in Decatur, Illinois. This stone chair, often found near a grave, has been the subject of numerous tales and folklore, each more chilling than the last. The chair in Greenwood Cemetery, in particular, has been a source of both fear and curiosity among locals and visitors alike. The stories surrounding the range from tales of bad luck to encounters with the supernatural, making it a compelling point of interest for those intrigued by the paranormal. So, from what I was picking up as I was looking into that, so these chairs are actually they're kind of like a gravestone as in itself. They were made for like guys that were, I don't know, what would you call them? Furnishers? They would make furniture.
Okay. So like just like carpenters and furniture makers?
Yeah, basically. And they would like it was a nice, memento mori when they died. They would be like, hey, instead of just putting a regular gravestone with their name, they would be like, hey, this is what he did for a living, so they would put a chair. Other stuff was that they put a chair some of these chairs were put in front of the graves for like grieving widows or whatever to sit there so they wouldn't have to stand in front of the graves because it's not like they put a bench in front of all the graves.
Yeah, I know they put them a few, but I could see that being something.
Yeah.
Of more importance.
Yeah. Just be able to just sit there so you don't have to be on the floor or on your knees and whatnot.
But so then why does it have the devil connotation to it then?
So the devil part, I guess is where the folklore kicks in because, so there's been tales of people who sat in the chair are either transported or have visions of going to like a hellish landscape, or they get a visit from a supernatural entity, possibly an evil one, and they're one of the stories was that you were able to make a wish or several wishes, but you only had like 7 years or something like that to live after that.
Okay. So then was like the chair, I guess not blessed but like cursed when it was put down, or like I'm trying to figure out why, if it's a dude who's a carpenter who like made furniture,
why would
and they made a chair for this, and then now it's like shit, it's a gateway to hell. Like
it's like now nobody wants to visit my grave.
But what what happened? Like was some satanic cult going around and be like, this is now a devil's chair, and just.
Well, I mean, I think there was stories of like.
Or did these guys like sell their souls to get where they were, and then that was like.
I don't think that was the story behind it. I think it's more like the first thing you touched on, where it was like, I don't want to say cults, but like random fanatics, let's call them. They would like how people would break into a cemetery. I know I'm guilty of it. When I was in my younger years, I would break into a cemetery. They're like, it's haunted, let's go see if we can see a ghost.
I did go to Bachelor's Grove Cemetery once.
Okay, so
and that place was fucking scary as shit.
Right. So so you did that, and you're not a fanatic. Imagine the guys that are like, "Oh, let's invoke something," and they go and they do their, and then you get a supernatural episode out of it. So there is like stories like that behind it where they don't know if somebody went and desecrated it, and they're like, now it's haunted, kind of deal. So it's one of those things. It's to me the interesting thing is like. It's like it says in the beginning where they break it down, where it's like, are you curious enough to sit in it? Can you back out of it if you sit in it? Like, would you? I was like, I want to go sit in,
It's just weird.
And
it's just weird, like, John Smith's fucking life as a carpenter, and they're like, oh, he died and he loved making this one specific chair.
Yeah.
So we'll make this chair for him. And then somebody sits in it and they're cursed. Like, where did that come from?
Right. Well, that's the... Like the intriguing part behind it is like, if you sit in it and you're just like, I mean, if something does happen, I'm pretty sure you're gonna walk out of it traumatized. But that's probably like best case scenario.
Yeah.
Where otherwise you're like, oh, tomorrow I hit the jackpot, and then like, oh shit, I only got 7 years left to live. Damn it.
Yeah. Well, that is like you making a deal with the devil, but it wasn't 7 years. It was a little bit longer than that, wasn't it?
For which one?
Like if you went to the crossroads. And made a deal with the devil.
Oh, you
wasn't it longer than that, or was it 7 years?
No, the Crossroads story, from what I've known about it, there's variations, but the Crossroads story is you ask for, I don't know, like the blues story where it's like, I want to be this
Robert Johnson.
Yeah, I want to be a huge musician. I want to be the best blues player in the world and whatnot. And then he did it, but like his fame brought him not disgrace. What is it when you're like he was just like a mess, So it's like, yeah, your wish was fulfilled, but ultimately it was your destruction. Okay. And then at the end, you still lose your soul.
Yep.
And like in the Crossroads movie, at the end, they have to go fight for. It's not Robert Lee, but I forget the dude's name, but they go fight for his soul with Robert Macchio playing the guitar.
Ralph Macchio.
What did I say?
Robert Macchio.
Yeah, Ralph Macchio. The fucking Karate Kid, man.
Ralph Macchio.
Cobra Kai, do or die, man.
Rob Macchio. I don't know who Rob Macchio is, but I don't think he was the Karate Kid.
Ralph Macchio was the Karate Kid.
No,
Robert Macchio wasn't.
No. Ralph Macchio.
Ralph Macchio.
Okay, if you
Macchio, say so. Pronunciation.
Well, he said it was Macchio. So
he doesn't know his left hand from his right.
Yeah, he just knows to wax on and wax off.
Yes. But which hand is he using? See?
Whichever one he starts with first, I guess.
I stand corrected. Anyway, getting back to the devil's chair.
So what are some of the other devil's chairs that are across the United States? Because I'm not going to go to Decatur to be like, oh, let me check this out.
Well, that would be the closest one to us. I think.
I know.
But there is others. So here we have... so you got one in Helen Cassadaga Cemetery in Florida, Brookside, Michigan.
There's another one in
Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, Southside, among others.
Huh.
So yeah, there's a couple around the States, but like I've seen pictures of them. They're actually, some of them are like eerie looking. They look like tree branches sticking out of the ground and intersecting. And then some of them are like really well designed. Like they look like a piece of Victorian furniture.
Yeah, I saw there was two of them in there. The one that was like it looked like a circle.
Yeah.
That one looked kind of like it came out of the ground.
Yeah, that's the one in Decatur, I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the like super eerie one looking. I didn't.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yeah, that's the one in Decatur.
Looks like a hand. It looks like a hand coming out of the ground.
Yeah.
And then just like you sit in it.
Like a bony hand.
The notorious Devil's Chair at Greenwood Cemetery.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so, and there's a scribe in it. I don't know what that means. But
oh, that says Houston.
Oh, yeah. What do you know? I was looking at, well, it's...
Were you looking like,
well,
what is
but look
not
at it.
swa?
Yeah, but if you look at it, like, when you read it, you're not going to read it like that. You read it like... I would read it like this, clockwise.
I would read it like how it looks, Houston.
Whatever, man. Shut up. But yeah, so this one's so you see this other one was made with like a tree stump and some branches or trunks. This one's the one I was telling you about that looks like a Victorian.
Yeah, that actually is pretty neat.
Yeah, that's the one that I read about that was made for
that carpenter.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a carpenter, but yeah, essentially. And then you got this bench. I don't know if that's one. You got this one that's not bad looking.
And it's crazy that, like, you know, it was made for somebody and they're like, oh no, it's the Devil's Chair. Devil's Chair.
Well, you got those pagans out there doing their rituals.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, shit, here, since we're talking about cemeteries, bring up Bachelor's Grove real quick. And we can talk about that for a little bit, because that one was actually pretty cool. Because that's over in...
like that?
Yes, Grove Cemetery.
Oh, these are images.
Yeah, that place, is it Midlothian? I think it's in Midlothian. It's in Bremen Township, and I think that's right over by, Midlothian. So I remember going there, and you're not allowed to go there at night, but like that's the best time to go. Like you don't want to go during the day. That's pretty dumb.
Yeah.
But we parked, like, because it's in a forest preserve. It's not even in.
Is this the one in Bremen?
Yeah, Bremen Township in Cook County. Yeah, so it's not like a forest or a regular cemetery. It's an old closed down cemetery that's inside a forest preserve.
Yeah.
So you have to walk through the forest preserve to get to it.
Okay.
So we walked through the forest preserve at like 11 o'clock at night, barely being able to see shit because you don't want to use flashlights or anything else because
you could get caught.
Well, because the forest preserve police patrol that.
Yeah, so
you'll
be spotted.
Yeah. So we're walking through and we're all wearing dark clothes to get through it. And you get up to the fucking gate, dude. And the gate is one of the creepiest things, like, because it's just an old fence, and then like it has an old post that says like Bachelor's Grove Cemetery, and you're like, oh, dude, I do not want to go in there. Like,
were you so you remember Mike Lonak, right?
Uh huh.
You remember he lived across the street from the cemetery?
Yeah.
Were you the one that I crashed at his house one time? Were you with us?
No.
So we crashed at his house one time, and we smoked the devil's lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
And we were fucking tweaking, dude, because we were like, dude, we're right across the street from the cemetery. How long do I got to keep my fingers crossed and shit? Like, we were like that all night until it kicked in, then we were relaxed. But, yeah, that's a story.
Yeah. But, like, so this place has just a lot of, like, paranormal activity that happens around it. I mean, like, it was a cemetery for the Anglo settlers around, like, 1833. In like 1845. But the crazy thing is that so there's the cemetery is in one spot. you take a path and you go just maybe like, I don't know, 50 yards. It was really weird. So like, here's the cemetery, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a walking path that goes in front of the cemetery through the forest preserve.
Yeah.
And when you go through this forest preserve, you come to this really weird clearing. Like as you're walking, it's a perfect circle of where there's no trees.
Mm-hmm.
There's no trees and there's no like grass, nothing. It's just dirt. But it's really weird because there's trees and grass all around it in a perfect circle. And when we got to that spot specifically,
yeah,
we saw a whole bunch of like deers and everything else, but none of them would walk into that circle.
So they had like bad juju.
Yeah, they would walk around the circle. They would never walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about like we're standing there and they're walking by us to not go.
Did you actually go in it?
We walked through the circle, yeah.
Oh.
So then when we walk through the circle,
Ballsy.
you keep going. So you go past the cemetery through the circle, and you keep going. There was a town there, too. There was a small town, and the foundations are still there. The buildings aren't there, but the foundations of these places are still there.
Yeah.
And I almost fell into one, and it was the creepiest thing, dude, because these are like I said, 1845 to like I think the town was there until like 1917. Maybe?
Yeah, according to 1917 manuscript.
Or the first burial was 1844. But like, so maybe like in the 1880s, it was gone. But dude, it was so creepy. So then we went back. Once we found the town, we like looked around at the town, like the foundations, just to see if we could see anything.
Mm-hmm.
Then we turned around, we went back to the cemetery. And dude, the whole time you're there, like you are just feeling the energy in that place.
Well, here, like I was reading the part here where it says vandalism.
Oh, dude, they fucked it up.
Yeah,
They fucked it up really bad, which is a shame, because there's clearly a lot of old graves in there.
yeah.
But it's just there's no reason to do what was done to it. Like if you go back and you could see some of the pictures.
I will. I just want to look at this. More than 200 burials
Mm-hmm.
dating back to 1840 until the early 1960s.
Yeah. When we went there, we couldn't read any of the tombstones.
They were kind of worn.
Yeah.
So there was vandalism, but here the thing that caught my eye was legends start. This is where the legends start. Bettenhausen wrote that claims of floating lights, phantom cars, ghostly apparitions, and other stories about the cemetery have been told and retold by several generations of youths. However, few of these tales have been apparent basis in fact.
Yeah, dude, it's one of the creepiest
So
places.
you didn't actually see anything, but you felt the vibe.
Well, you felt the vibe, and then you could tell by the animals.
Yeah.
Like the animals, like that in that one where the circle is at.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even go near it, dude. And they all stood there and looked at you like,
Are you crazy?
like,
man?
what are you doing walking over there? And like let me see. I don't even know if they have the circle, but yeah, like that was a picture like of this lady supposedly sitting there, and this is like the main path to walk through. Like, see if you can get a picture of the sign when you walk in,
Like the gate.
like that, dude.
Oh yeah.
That's how that looked. Now look at that at like 12 o'clock at night.
I don't want to look at it in daylight, man.
Yeah.
Is this kind of like the spot you're... Oh, no, those are
No,
graves.
those are graves. So this is the inside part of it still.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if they'll show like the clearing. Like put like maybe Google that. Like see that's part of the walking path.
Yeah.
So that's the walking path to get to it.
So it's basically like a trail through the woods.
Yes. Yeah. You have to walk through that to get there,
Mm.
and then see like that's part of the town. Like that's part of the clearing.
Yeah.
That is just clear of nothing.
Look at that. It's like a haunted.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah. Excalibur nightclub, probably ghost hunters.
Well, those are Ghost Adventures guys right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that was like it was one of the see those are part of the foundations there.
Yeah. Looks like they were trying to start a shire there.
Oh, there was houses there and stuff. But yeah, see like that. Well, there's a little lake there.
Man, you go all sorts of ways with these monsters in this cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Creature of the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah, it was
Lagoon,
one of the creepiest things that I've ever seen, dude. Because it's just like here, look, like walking down that at midnight.
How many of you were there?
There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There was 6 of us, But then the crazy thing is, we were 6 of us, and then we ran into another group that was doing the same thing, and we both both groups scared the shit out of each other.
Oh my God! There's a movie, Bachelor's Grove.
But yeah, dude, it was pretty cool. I mean, I don't want to go back.
Now I want to watch this.
I want to go there during the day to really see it.
Yeah. Well, you can see pictures of apparitions. I don't know if they're doctored or not, but
no. But I mean, I would love to go there during the day and see what I saw.
Yeah.
Because it's just so weird. The whole area is just so eerie.
Yeah.
I
mean, cemeteries in themselves are pretty.
But I'm talking about even the forest preserve, like that whole little thing is just so weird, dude.
Yeah. And then you run into a dude like this dressed in black robes and
doing that shit.
Yeah. That's where I'm like, all right, see you guys later. I've seen too many scary movies. I know how the shit ends. I'm out. And then that's the first dude that gets done in. He's like, you fucking coward. It's like the one that was smart enough to walk away gets done in. Sometimes that's the guy that comes with backup, though.
Yeah, I guess so.
He's the guy that ran off and said, I found the forest preserve guys. Like, oh, you guys were supposed to be in there. It's haunted. They come and rescue you,
Yeah, dude, that was a pretty interesting place to go to.
No chairs in this one, though?
There's a bench. There's a bench there. I mean, I don't know if they called it like the Devil's Bench. But I see people writing fucking pentagrams and shit on there. And
Yeah. So, I mean, especially if it's like not somewhere where it's very visible, it's going to get vandalized. Like there was so a little bit off topic.
Like, that bench is there.
Yeah.
That bench is actually there.
There was a clearing in the woods that we would go to in high school. It was like by some apartments, but you had to walk like a few hundred yards in. That's where they held keg parties back when we were in high school. I don't know if you remember that.
Where at?
I'm trying to remember.
Injustice?
It was Justice, yeah.
Yeah, behind we would go over by where was it? If you're on Archer and there was like the road to go to the refinery.
Yeah, that might
we
be
would go
one.
over there and we'd go behind back there in the woods.
Yeah.
There was like, and then they built.
But
houses,
you had to walk a little bit to get.
Oh yeah,
in
we
there.
had. No, we had.
They had bonfires and shit.
Yes.
Back there.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Yes.
We're lucky we didn't start a forest fire.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That was creepy going through there too, dude.
Oh yeah, but like when you were going there, you knew that you were gonna run into like a shitload of people.
Once you found it, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and you had everybody partying there. You see like 2 or 3 kegs and a bunch of kids just raging.
Yeah, I remember that spot. Yeah, me and Aaron went there a few times.
Yeah, I used to go there with like Knack and Burger and those guys. It was a good time. I think Wazzo and them went there too.
Yeah, dude, just look at how creepy that place is.
I don't know if these are all from that place, but
yeah, most of them are.
Look at that, spookiest urban legends, Bachelor's Grove. So there's videos on YouTube if any listeners want to like read into the lore of the Bachelor's Grove Cemetery. And there's a movie.
Yes, and you just look at who the hell is that? Like that looks like 50 Cent for a second, doesn't it? Like he's like
a Ricardo Islas film. I don't know. I would have to go into the IDBM.
Bachelor's Grove.
Or IMDb, what is it?
Yeah. IMDb. Yeah. Internet Movie Database.
Yes.
I don't know what IBDM is.
IDB drinking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, Bachelor's Grove for sure looks pretty scary.
Yeah, it's just really weird, man, and having to go through there and just feeling it.
Do you do the thing where you
like if you go to their actual website, what's that?
When you go like when you drive by a cemetery, do you do the thing where you cross your fingers or no?
No,
I still do that.
No. It just I always have a weird feeling, and I always have to look
like a nut knees.
Yeah.
Well, I do it because it's one of those things where it's like if they say like, if you walk under a ladder, black cat and all that.
Yeah.
Stuff. Black cat's not.
See,
really
I don't really like. I avoid ladders anyway.
Yeah. I'm like I'm not superstitious. I'm just stitious.
Yeah.
I'll avoid it. I'll avoid it.
Like I always, when we lived back at home, dude, and we would drive. Whenever I would drive down Archer at night, like I was always waiting to see a fucking chick sitting there waiting for a ride.
Resurrection Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's why that bar across the street always leaves a shot for her just in case.
Yep.
But like that story. So that there was one of the legends about that was she was sitting there waiting at, so where the entrance is, there's a bus stop right at the entrance. And I forgot if it was like the 50s or 60s or whatever it was.
Yeah.
There was a dude driving down Archer, not really late at night, but like kind of late at night. And he sees her sitting there, and he pulls over. He's like, "Hey, like, everything all right?" She's like, "Yeah, I need a ride. I need a ride down to wherever it was." And then he ends up driving her to what's the place across the street from Irish Times that burnt down?
Irish Times
or Irish Legends, whatever the hell that is on Archer.
The across from Summit Park or whatever?
No, the one, the bar in Willow Springs.
Oh,
the place that was across the street that burned down. That was like,
I don't remember.
It was a dance hall.
Yeah.
And he drove her to there, and then like she got out of the car and like fucking disappeared.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I remember that. I always got freaked out at night.
Were you ever with like when we, how Phil used to live by the tracks, right? Like 2 blocks away from the junior high. Heritage. Which to us it will always be what was the name of the fucking junior high? Graves, yeah. Graves Junior High. I remember when we first heard the story. I don't know who told us. It might have been those asshole neighbors Phil had. They're like, "Oh yeah, man, Resurrection Mary shows up in the tracks," So we would fucking go to the tracks at night and try to find her. We would stand on the bridge, and I think one time we actually went down to the tracks through like all the rubble and shit. We this is before they had the fence. I think we were still like almost pre-teen, man.
Yeah.
And we went down there, and I think we were looking. I think Chris might have been with us. I'm not sure. But yeah, Resurrection Mary is another well-known Chicago area ghost story.
Yeah, dude. I mean, and it still creeps me out going over there. And like I said, that bar across the street on Archer, when they close, the bartender leaves a shot on the bar for her. Yeah. Don't know if she takes it or not. Yeah. But yeah, they leave that there, and then they
maybe
close
he
up.
Goes out back and pours one for his homies.
Maybe, I don't know.
Pour one for Mary.
Yeah, I mean, I always had weird feelings going past Resurrection Cemetery over there, especially at night. Not during the day, but
well, I think is Resurrection. I think that's the one that Mike Lonek lived across the street from.
No, he lived a little bit further down to the other one, the Bethleania. The Greek one that was right next to it. Because Resurrection was the big one. Yeah. And then there was that little one next to it. He lived across from that one.
Yeah, okay. Still, uneasy vibes.
But I mean, it's all right there. Yeah. It's not like it's that like, big of a difference. There's a fence.
You cannot come into my area. I'm hunting this place.
Yeah.
I don't know why I did that accent. Because I don't think Greeks talk like that. But
they don't talk like that. No, they don't. Yeah. No.
Would you like a Slurpee?
Yeah, they don't talk like that.
They got rid of Apu, man.
I mean, Archer Avenue itself is one of the hauntedest roads in the country too, because you have Resurrection Mary, and then you have the Irish Bar is haunted. Yeah, that's one of the most haunted places too, because that was once owned by Al Capone. And they have that as like all the ghosts of the people that he killed and the mob killed are there. Yeah. And then I actually remember somebody we went to high school with. I don't remember who it was, but they worked there when it was the restaurant before it became whatever
Irish restaurant.
But it was whatever when it was still the Italian place before that. Forgot the name of it. Yeah. But they would always have to they had to bring chairs down to the basement when they closed, so like they can clean and everything in the morning. So they'd bring chairs and shit downstairs to the basement. Yeah. And stack it all up. They'd close, turn off the lights and everything. And when they're walking out, they'd hear and all the shit would be knocked back down.
Like, hey, we're trying to sit here, man.
But it was crazy. And then they'd be like, okay, well, some of the times they'd be like, all right, we're not coming back to clean this shit up. And when they came back in the morning, everything would be put back up and nice and neat and everything.
Sounds like some paranormal activity type.
Oh yeah, dude. There would always be some weird shit going on there. And then if you go past that down Archer, do you know where that cemetery that doesn't have a fence? Like when you're coming back towards us on Archer? Yes. It's on the left-hand side if you're driving back home. Mm-hmm. So that one, there's supposedly like a path that leads to like a castle or like a tower or something over there. And it's said that there's like monks that haunt that area at night. And if you get to that path, like they'll chase you, and the path just ends, and like you'll get if you get caught by them, like you're never seen again.
You
Like,
become one of the monks.
it's really crazy. Like I remember hearing that one as a kid, and
it sounds kind of sounds like the dudes in suits in the middle of the road.
Yeah, but I don't know what it's like. Just put like cemetery monks, like Willow Springs, something like that. Like that one was really weird.
Cemetery monks, Willow Springs. Oh, Illinois. There you go.
Yeah, Monk's Castle. Oh, that's a little bit further down too, but like, yeah, Phantom Horse and Carriage.
Oh, dude, that's one of those. That's
the gated one, right when you get to Archer in 83, where you would have to go up.
Yeah,
that's another fucking weird place too.
So, dude, when I was growing up, urban legend was. So my grandparents are originally from like a small ranch type town, up in the outskirts, not in the city, and my grandmother's sisters and all grew up there and all that shit. But they pretty sure this was just to like scare you story, but they're like, oh yeah, if you heard a carriage in the middle of the night, I'm like, how the fuck am I gonna hear a carriage? I haven't seen a carriage like ever, other than like in movies or in like Central Park. Anyway, the story was like if you heard a carriage like in the middle of the night and they came by your window, it's like don't look, because if you look, you're fucked. Like that's death coming to your door, basically. It's phantom carriages that like boom, spark the memory. Yeah, I'm sure it was a story, but
yeah, but St. James Cemetery and Monk's Castle, like that's a weird place too. Like, just look at that photo.
Yeah,
like it's weird just looking at it.
Yep. This one got pineapple.
It's still fruit punch.
Oh.
You didn't get any of the other ones? Oh, you got tropical punch.
Yeah.
I got regular fruit punch.
Pineapple, watermelon, and I think grenadine.
No, that's passion fruit.
Oh.
Grenadine is just...
Don't get any ideas, big guy.
No, thank you. So where do you want to go on his journey next?
We could go into the Skinwalkers.
And I could touch on the Skinwalkers a little bit. The Skinwalkers, not to be confused with Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
So I feel like that is a completely different that's more extraterrestrial than I feel like superstition, supernatural type stuff.
Yeah, it feels like it's like they cling to the name.
Yeah.
More than anything, just to like, oh, we're making it scary.
Yeah. But like Skinwalkers itself is actually in Navajo culture, and I'm gonna butcher what they call it, but it's Yi Naladushi, which is a type of harmful witch, which has the ability to turn into, possess, and disguise themselves as an animal. And this term was never used for the word healers or anything like that. And the actual word, which I'm not going to say again, translates to, by means of it, it goes on all fours. While perhaps the most common variety seen in horror fiction by non-Navajo people, the Skinwalkers is one of several varieties in the culture, in a special type of Antli. Okay. Navajo witches represent this antithesis of Navajo cultural values, while community healers and cultural workers are known as medicine men and women, or by other positive terms. In the community's indigenous language, witches are seen as evil, performing harmful ceremonies and manipulative magic in the perversion of good works medicine people traditionally perform. And in order to practice these good works, traditional healers may learn about both good and evil magic. And in order to protect against evil, but people who choose to become witches are seen as corrupt. Which, hello. And with Skinwalkers, I mean, it's always like the main animal that's associated with them is a trickster, such as like a coyote, and other creatures which usually associated with bad omens. So, and they also might possess living animals or people and walk around in their bodies, and they could be both man and woman. So it's kind of like, are they evil Navajo witches, or are they like cryptids, like their own kind of species that are here and some kind of like offshoot of humans with special abilities, or are they just fucking aliens?
I mean, take your pick. I mean, I could go into like the Mexican folklore with the we have them down in Mexico with the lechuzas. Those are witches.
Yep.
And they're, I don't know what, like 4 feet tall.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger. But yeah, the Mexican folklore is with skinwalkers more than anything is the lechuzas, which is like a huge owl. They're witches, and they usually prey on like newborns or infants. Like they even talk about in the La Bamba movie, the Richie Valens story.
Yep, I know that one.
So yeah, they have those, and I actually had three stories about that, which one of them was it happened to my brothers, my two oldest brothers, Ray and Rafa, when they were in their 20s, I think. This was down in Mexico. We used to live on the street, and at the end of our street was a park. You crossed the park, and there was like another, it was a street that crossed, so it was like a T kind of deal, but you had to cross that park, so it didn't intersect directly. And my cousin's husband was their buddy. They all grew up in the neighborhood, and it was funny because they came up a couple weeks ago, and my brothers had told me the story, but I want to hear it from somebody else. I want to hear it's bullshit or no. He told it to the T, man. It was like that we were out partying, or not partying necessarily, but they just hung out late. When you're younger, you just like you got that energy where you can stay out late and sleep 2 hours and get up to do whatever you need to do. But yeah, so they were out. I think they were near the end of our street, kind of heading into the park area, and they saw lechuza, which is one of those big owls. And legend goes, if you kind of tell it off and whistle like kind of like a fuck you kind of deal, that thing will go after you. Mm-hmm. Like it will fucking dive at you.
Oh, I remember you kind of telling me about this.
Yeah. So the story goes that so these guys, I don't know how many there were, but there was at least 4 of them, because it was my 2 brothers, my cousin's husband, and the guy that they went into his house. So I don't know who did that. They told the fucking bird off, and the thing fucking came down on them. So they fucking booked it, and this is like I don't know if it was like midnight, 1 a.m. They booked it to this dude Julio's house, and so they made it. They got past the gate, let's call it. But the gate I'm talking about is like, 6 feet tall. Like it's basically they're so people don't break into your house and kind of shit.
Yeah.
So they made it. They got inside the house, and the fucking bird was standing on the roof, like waiting for one of them to come out. And they were freaking out because they're like, "This fucking thing came after us, man! Like it's on us." So I got in there, and after a few minutes, the dude that lived in the house, Julio, went in and got that like Obi-Wan looking Jesus picture. Came out and started, "The power of Christ compels you." They started praying and shit until the thing fucking went away. And then I think it was there for like an hour or 2 or something like that. And after a while, like after it actually like went away, they were all like, "All right, man, every man for himself. Gotta make it home." My brothers were like, "Well, there's 2 of us, so we're lucky." Boom, they booked it. And I'm talking the house was maybe like, if you bolted running, it's like 2 minutes away. Mm-hmm. And my cousin's husband, he lived like 2 blocks down, but it was like not long ways. It was just like 2 houses, And he was like, "I'm gonna make it home too." But these dudes were like freaking out, dude. And he was telling me the story. He's like, "Oh yeah, man, that shit was true." He's like, "Your brothers told you this story?" I was like, "Yep." He's like, "Yeah, man, it really happened." And I was like, "Well, tell me your version." He's like, "So it went down like this," and then he told it to me, and I was like, "Oh, that's how they told it." It was pretty crazy, dude.
And didn't something happen after that? Didn't somebody? What was the one where the fucking person came to the house?
Oh, so that was a buddy of mine.
Oh, that was okay.
Yeah. My buddy Charlie, he went to visit I think it was his grandma, and they had like a family reunion. So they went to visit their grandma out of state. It was in San Luis, Mexico. And So the story goes that there was like a plaza, and they would hang out there late at night, blah blah blah. So, because they were visiting, they were kind of young, you'd stay out late, blah blah blah. And he was with his cousins and whatnot, and they saw one of the lechuzas, which is basically the skinwalker. And so the story was that you could tell him, "Mañana vienes por tu chile y tu sal," which translates to, "Tomorrow you come and get your chile and your salt," which is kind of like telling somebody off. It's kind of like a fuck you.
Okay.
Like if they ask you for something, and like, yeah, whatever. Tomorrow, come get this shit, bitch.
Okay.
It's kind of like it's a fuck you essentially.
All right.
So you tell that to the bird, and like the bird didn't come after him or anything. It's just the next day, somebody came to his grandma's house and knocked on the door, and my buddy's name's Charlie. Carlos. So this old lady came knocking on the door, and she's like, "Oh, is Carlos here?" And I don't know who answered the door, but they're like, "Yeah, could I ask who's calling?" It's like, "Oh, he told me to come for something." So they're like, "Okay." So they went and woke him up. They're like, "Hey, Charlie, there's an old lady out the door here to see you." And he's like, "What?" So he gets up, goes to the door, and the lady told him, she's like, "Oh, I'm here for my chile and my salt." He's like, close the door. He's like, "Nope. I need somebody to, do a cleanse.
Yeah.
I need to get this bad juju off of me because this is a witch, man. It's a witch. It came after him."
That's weird, man.
And then just growing up, like where we used to play down the street, we used to play soccer. There was a water tower type deal, and you could see those fucking things congregating up there, like 2 or 3 of them. So we would all like walk home until like 2 of us, the last 2 guys that were like lived like next door to each other. Those were the last 2 guys. So like, ain't no way one of these things is gonna carry 2 of us away.
Yeah.
Because they're 4 feet tall at least, man, and they're
Yeah.
witches.
Yeah. Well, dude, the group of owls that lived in my tree, dude,
Mm-hmm.
the alpha had to have been like almost 4 feet tall, dude. This thing was a monster.
Yeah.
And actually, the other day when we were,
But you said that was a male, right?
Yeah.
So it was a warlock.
yes, yes, it was. That's part of the skinwalker thing, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Warlocks, lycanthropes, they're all part of the same family.
So question.
Yes.
This is kind of on topic, but not on topic.
Mm-hmm.
You had your choice. Would you rather be a lichen or a vampire?
Oh, dude, lycan all the way.
Lichen?
Oh yeah.
I feel like they're beasts, man. They're
I
like
think to
fucking
have
powerful.
I think to have that a bit like, all right, so like,
I don't like how they're portrayed in every like fantasy movie that they're like, oh, they're like the subjugates of vampires. They're the protectors of the vampires.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, have you not seen Van Helsing? Van Helsing tears Dracula apart, man. He like fucking butchers him.
What I guess would say that kind of made me like the lichens more was the underworld movies when they were able to. What was the main one?
Oh yeah, no.
The dude who was able to like
fully transform,
but then like tell them what to do.
Yeah.
Like once that like the prequel, the very first one, like you could play
before
you could play them all like when it's 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, and 4, but you can actually play 4 before all of them, and it
I think
makes
it was
sense.
3. 3's the one that's the prequel where it's like that dude was originally like
He was a slave.
He was in the original
Yes.
wars and shit. Yeah.
Yes.
And
So
that's
like,
the bad guy from 1 and 2, and
Yeah.
then he tells Celine the truth and all
Yes.
that. Yeah. That's
so like once I saw him, and then when he was able to get the other ones to kind of like,
he's the leader. He's the alpha.
he was able to get them to control their shit and be
Yeah.
like, all right, you guys aren't just fucking beasts. Like, you can control this shit. We can really dominate.
Yeah.
Like, that's when I was like, yeah, why the fuck would you not want to be them?
Yeah.
They're
And
so
were,
much
like,
stronger and everything
yeah,
else. And
strong, fast, resilient. Yeah. But vampires are fucking
And you can-
suave, dude.
and you could live like a normal life in the daytime.
Yeah, that's true. Well, they were supposed to be the guardians of the vampires.
But I'm talking about,
during
like,
the
they
day.
could-
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like
Yeah,
they
yeah.
would be able to be like, well, I'm gonna fucking go out
Yeah.
and go on vacation.
I gotta go grocery shopping.
Yeah, And I'm just gonna buy some meat.
Oh, I have to go to a 24-hour Walmart because I'm a vampire.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's why I feel like
the Walgreens close to my house is not open. I have to find one close.
But yeah, I always liked werewolves more than Dracula.
I think they're cooler, man.
Yes.
I definitely think they're cool. The thing I do like about vampires is that they're more suave. So it's like,
yeah.
So if you look at it this way, this is stupid. This is a stupid comparison, but stay with me. So James Bond, like Pierce Brosnan, Sean Connery, vampires.
Yeah.
And then you go with John Wick, Jason Bourne, lycanthropes.
But see, that
they
fits
were like
that,
action
but
driven.
that fits more of my mindset.
Yeah.
Than the smooth James Bond,
they're action driven. Yeah.
Like I'd be more about.
Well, it depends on your Bond because you like Daniel Craig,
and he's more werewolf
action driven.
Yes.
Yeah.
So like I love Sean Connery, but like I don't know, I prefer the more brutal type stuff of like Mission Impossible or Jason Bourne or what was the other one? Oh, John Wick, like you said.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to get.
I get it. I get it.
Because you could be the monster of the Black Lagoon, man. Do you want to be that guy?
No.
That's like being Aquaman, dude. Fuck that. No offense to Jason Momoa, but he's a weak
fish, dude.
He's a weak character, dude.
He's fucking fish.
Like, you know what Batman?
You fuck chicks, cool, dude. You fuck other dudes, whatever. But when you fuck fish, there's something wrong with you.
Like, dude, there was the Batman declassified thing to get like if he wanted to take down the Justice League, he's like, I'll just drop Aquaman off in the desert, and he's done.
Well,
anyway,
that's
not nice. I know, but it's true, man. Anyway, getting back on topic.
Yes.
Skinwalkers, very cool, and most of them do come from like. They're portrayed as like werewolves.
Yes, werewolves, or they're some kind of four-legged animal.
Yeah.
And usually when they turn into their human form, they still have a piece of that animal that they can turn back into. So like they would have like a necklace of teeth, or they would wear like a headdress of like a wolf, or they would have I'm talking about from the Navajo culture.
Yeah.
Or they would have like a bear skin.
Yeah.
Like shawl type thing, because that was their connection that turned back into that animal.
I wonder if they would be able to turn into like different animals. Like, would it depend if they're carrying that piece of?
They're like some of them. It was saying that it was like it depended on like what they had, because like if they wore wolf teeth and like the wolf thing, they would have the speed of the wolf, the senses of a wolf, and then they would be able to turn into a wolf. But then I guess I'm sure they'd be able to figure out a way.
Like, oh, I got a fucking beaver hat.
Yeah, you turn into a fucking beaver and you build a dam and you just chill. I don't know. Then I wouldn't be scared of a fucking beaver. Like, but if a fucking coyote or a bear were like, I'm going to come get you.
I ain't afraid of no raccoons.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Raccoons are nasty.
Yeah, but you could punt them.
Yeah, but still. Little trash pandas.
Oh, they're cute, bro.
Oh, I know. I love them. I love raccoons.
Yeah.
But like, let me see. There's some other stuff here. I don't know. I went back to looking at werewolves.
Yeah.
I mean, so like, but it's crazy because even like how far back that mythology has gone.
Well, they like one of the things they did do right in the Twilight Saga was the werewolf thing, which was cool because they had dire wolves. They were fucking huge.
Yeah.
And they turned in like they weren't like, like muscular, huge, like up onto like wolves. They were fucking actual wolves.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
And they were from the res. They had that, Native American thing going on.
They're from the res.
The reservation, man.
I know, but just like they come from the res.
Man, I got that slang to me.
So let's see. I'm just looking at I guess you could say folklore or the mythology of werewolves has gone all the way back from like 1150.
Damn.
Like that's a long time.
That is.
And that's where like when you hear stuff like this and they've had so long of a folklore and so long of a mythological history, like
it was like vampires.
Actually, it even goes back to the age of 27. So 27 AD. Petronius was the first one.
See, I think that's more
It was-
plausible. Like
yeah.
lichens are more plausible than like vampires, like vampirism. Because vampirism is like, yeah, you could be like a person could be born with a disease where you're sensitive to sunlight and
Mhm.
whatnot. That's a condition, but like actually being able to shapeshift, that's like a mutation.
Yeah.
So
But what I was trying to get at was like, with it coming from so long,
Yeah.
like almost 2,000 years
mhm.
of folklore and mythology.
Yeah.
Like,
Because vampires weren't
there-
invented until like the 1920s.
is there some form of truth?
Yeah, that's what
You know
I'm
what?
saying.
You know, like when you have all these stories that go back so long, it's like, all right, were these people just really hairy cannibals?
Could have been.
You know, or was it like a civilization
Or
that
deformity, maybe.
yeah, you know, like, or was it a civilization that like just had a weird different adaptation because of where they were from? You know, and then they slowly died off.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, because they were like, "Oh, that's a freak, let's kill him," and they died off.
because I mean, it goes from the 27 A.D. to 1150 to 1228 to the 15th century, 16th century, 17th century, 18th. I mean, and then like I don't know if there's any. There was one guy. What was it? There was one that happened. Pretty sure it was somewhere in the United States. I can't remember where it was at. Where this dude like fucking massacred this woman, and he was trying to say that he was a werewolf. It was either he was a werewolf, or he was a vampire. One of the two. I can't remember what it was, but it was like really fucked up. Like he clawed the shit out of this woman, and it was really fucked up.
some howling type shit.
Yeah, dude, it was really weird.
I gotta say that's still the best, like the freakiest transformation I've seen in movies. The Howling, you've seen The Howling, right? It's like a 1970s, 1980s
I think so.
movie where they actually show like a transformation of a werewolf, and I was like, oh man, that is fucking freaky. And the special effects are so bad that it makes it good. You know,
Let's see,
love it. I love it. But I think the werewolf thing is more plausible than, because like I said, vampires weren't invented until like they were created by.
The only thing I could think
a
about
writer.
with vampires being not necessarily real,
They're made up, dude.
but like I could see it as people doing that shit, but not really lasting that long. Like I don't know how long you can live off of just consuming blood.
Well, yeah, but like, try to look up the earliest case of vampirism. They were actually created. Like Dracula is a fictional character, and all the vampires are fictional. They started with the Nosferatu.
Yeah, but there was also like people who thought they were, you know, vampires who like these fucking people
Delusional?
came back and like supposed people were dead and they come back.
The OG
you know.
vampire is Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Went to sleep for 3 days, came back. He was like, "What's up, y'all?"
Let's see where.
He did it back. That was the 0 AD.
Oh man, who? Where? Let's see. Is it the D? Let's see. I don't know. I just remember there was one where this dude. It might be this one. Pankaj Basin. So yeah, this dude was like. It was actually in like 2018, I think it was.
Okay, so that's recent.
Yeah. So this dude, his name is Pankaj Basin, dubbed the werewolf killer by local media after he stabbed a 65-year-old store manager Brad Jackson more than 50 times. And he was found not guilty after his defense claimed that he had a psychotic breakdown, saying that he was a werewolf.
Who was a werewolf? The dude he killed?
No, the guy that killed him. The killer was a werewolf. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Some people are delusional, man.
Yeah. But it's crazy, dude. So, let me see the earliest
So would
vampirism.
Dracula be a skinwalker? Because he could turn into vampires or vampire bats. He could turn into fog.
I don't know about fog. You know, I don't know.
Count Dracula.
I mean, he could allegedly turn into a bat.
Yeah. Well, he could do a lot of shit. Depends on where you look.
Let's see. Oh, hey, look. There's that's Minecraft. Okay, Minecraft mods. Become a vampire. I'm like, what?
I do think there's people that have like skin conditions or whatever where.
So there's actually a clinical diagnosis, commonly known as Renfield syndrome, is an obsession in drinking with blood, and that was when it was first like dubbed vampirism. And Renfield syndrome, it's in the DSM. Okay, when did it first come about?
Funny, they just came out with a movie called Renfield about vampires.
Yeah, it's kind of that's why it's Renfield syndrome.
Yeah.
So it looks like it dates back to like 1892, but I feel like it was earlier than that. I don't know. I feel like there's just always been weird shit out there, and just you know. But it's just weird, like when you have some of these things, like you have vampires and werewolves and like chupacabras and skinwalkers, and then like a Mothman, and you have all these different things.
Dude, don't even
there.
get started on Mothman.
Why?
That's a alien thing.
Is it, or is it just? Is it, or is it a species that died out, like big wolf or big wolf, Bigfoot,
Sasquatch?
Just like the mountains are the roots of trees and shit.
I'll go back to this because we covered it in the UFO episode. Mothman, my opinion, is that, like they explain in the movie, is an advanced species, civilization, alien, whatever, that they compared in the movie or well, they're so advanced that for them to talk to us is like talking to ants.
Yeah.
So, I think they're otherworldly. I don't think they're local to Earth. So, but, since we don't know. This is really cool.
Real life werewolves. ABC News. Real life werewolves. Danny Ramos Gomez has a rare genetic condition.
Oh man, you gonna go with a Mexican?
Hypertrichosis. Hypertrichosis. I think that's just where they have that real fucking hairy thing going on.
Yeah.
Where their hair goes all over the place, and even when you can't like cut it, it still fucking comes right back, like looking all weird.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like that's werewolves. That's just a hair thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like a.
It's not like they're running around on all fours, fucking
killing people.
Yeah,
Like, I need to eat a heart. Yeah, no.
I don't know. It would be cool to be a werewolf, though, for at least like a little bit. I don't know.
Depends. If you
have the ability to control it.
Yes,
that's what I was about to say. If you don't have the ability to control it, then no, it's not cool.
No, it's not.
But if you have the ability to control it, except on a full moon, because that's when it all fucking really goes down. But like, if you were in an emergency situation, then you're like, fuck, I need to do something.
I need to get that boost.
Then you turn into a fucking werewolf and just like clear the side of a building because you need to save a whole bunch of people, like, or you just close and you're like,
so now you want to be a werewolf superhero?
Well, I wouldn't want to be a bad guy.
I'm just saying, you went from I want to be a werewolf to I want to save a bunch of people.
Well, to be in a situation where you need to use it, like you'd want to, like I would want to use it for good things. I wouldn't want to be like, all right, now I'm a fucking werewolf, so I'm going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Like, that's not cool. Like, why would you be like, I got this thing that could help out humanity. I'm just going to be a dick.
Yeah.
Well,
if you could control it, yes, but you'd still be like
what contribution does a vampire have to society?
Because you look scary.
Here.
You would get canceled.
But what contribution would a werewolf have to society compared to a vampire?
No,
vampires don't do shit for society. They need to kill society in order for them to stay alive.
True.
Werewolves can just eat fucking animals.
Depends on the lore, because there's lore that say werewolves need to eat human hearts.
Wait, I think you have to eat one.
Every full moon?
Yeah, so just every full moon you have to have one.
You're gonna go to the
prison.
Go to the mortuary.
Go to the fucking people on death row. He's dying tonight. There you go. Thanks.
Let me butcher him.
Yeah. Here, give him that.
Let me kill him in the most horrible way.
Give him that lethal injection, and you just do what you need to do.
It's like pass him out.
Yeah.
Give him a narcotic.
Yeah.
Get him high.
Just get him. Just put him to sleep. I'll take care of the rest. Dude, that is a deal that you can make. Because if you think about it, like say, now we're gonna really dive down this rabbit hole.
No.
Yes,
we gotta stay on track.
Yes, but hang on here. Just let me say this point.
5 minutes,
all right.
sir. You have 5 minutes.
All right. So clearly, werewolves would have been gone past for 2,000 years, right? So they would have made deals along the way to be able to ensure that they were able to keep that thing going, right? So by doing that, they make deals with the prisons with people on death row. Like, all right, look, you just knock them out. We take the hearts every full moon. Everything's good. You get rid of the people that you don't want there anymore, and we're the ones who consume the body, so it's gone.
So why don't you just go to a mortuary and get the heart?
Because no, it's dead.
So just put a little blood
No,
in it.
but I'm saying, but like
you would
also be doing a good thing for society by getting rid of the people who are on death row.
Yeah, but death row's not even a thing anymore.
Yes, it is. Not in Illinois, but in other states there are.
Yeah, but it's like going out. It's like dying out.
Yes, but that is why you put a werewolf in the White House to bring it back, and then they keep it going.
It is turning into a full-on comedy thing with me, dude.
But I'm just saying, like, just think about it. Just think about it, because
off-the-wall shit.
You would be able to control that, and be able to then, if you need it just for that one time on a full moon.
You could go to China where it's like, oh, you had a little girl born. You can't have little girls. Then eat her.
I don't want no, not kids. No. You don't need kids. That's fucked up.
Too small. That's a snack.
Yes, but you don't need kids. All right, you need more nourishment than a kid heart.
Oh, come on.
All right, you need an adult heart that's done bad things. Because you don't want to eat a good person's heart. You want to eat a bad person's heart.
Why? Maybe it may make you a good werewolf.
No, because you would be a good werewolf already. Okay, because you're doing shit for the good. All right, you wouldn't want to be I wouldn't want to be a bad werewolf.
What'd you smoke, dude? Let me get some of that.
I don't do drugs, so I drink. That's my only drug choice.
Saying some pretty off the wall shit. I love it.
No, but if you really thought about it, you would be able to sustain.
Okay. Let's.
You make a compound down in Texas where they still have the death penalty, and you make a deal with the Texas Bureau of Prisons. Hey, look, when this guy's up for...
Hey, look, I'm a werewolf.
Yeah, who cares? Like, be completely fucking... Here, you'd have been around for centuries, so you would have been able to obtain a shit ton of wealth throughout those years.
Allegedly.
Well, I'm just saying, if you go on like how most of these things lived for thousands of years, they've created all this generational wealth.
Not in the underworld movies. They were fucking broke. Those dudes were fucking beggars.
Well,
they lived in tunnels.
Well, they lived underground because they were dumb. They weren't as organized as the fucking vampires. That's why you would be able to learn and be like, oh, those fucking guys do it. I could go do it.
Yeah.
They took way too long, but then they had those, But anyway, you're getting off track with this.
I'm getting off track?
You're getting off track from my idea.
Okay,
all right?
Keep going.
So you'd make your compound down in Texas or a place where they still have the death penalty. Fucking Russia. Okay. There you go. That's where werewolves come.
You'd be eating a bunch of Ivan
because they would they're cannibals there anyway. There's tons of them in prison that ate humans,
like the gulags and shit.
Yeah, so it would just be like, all right, cool, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna live in this castle, and everything's gonna be fine, and nobody would bother us because it's Russia, right?
Yeah. So
there you go. There's no problems there.
Strike a deal with old Putin and be like, hey man, I need to eat some human hearts once a month.
Exactly. So there you go. And now I'm done with my story. Okay, it would just be cooler to be a werewolf over a vampire, because I just feel like you'd be able to.
I feel like I opened a can of worms when I asked you that, dude.
No, because I just feel like there's more benefits to being a werewolf.
Well, you would be able to go out during the day.
You'd be able to go out during the day. You'd be able to.
Unless you were a fucking like Blade or a Dampier.
Okay, but how many? That's two. Okay.
Dampiers? No,
but I'm talking about as far as like
daywalkers.
We're going back onto the positives of being a werewolf.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
You get to come out during the day. You can eat food and actually like do shit. You don't have to just concentrate on fucking jabbing somebody's neck and drinking blood. Like at least you eat food and be like, oh, hey, this still tastes good. Then you go to a restaurant and be like, don't cook it, just give it to me. But But then, like, you'll be able to go outside.
How would you like your steak, sir? Raw,
yeah,
bloody.
You know, but like you can go and enjoy life still. You know, I feel like at least for the most part.
Yeah, except that one time a month when you go savage.
Yeah, and women go through that all the time.
For a week.
That week that they turn into
maybe women
vampires.
Are werewolves.
They turn into vampires.
No, they turn into werewolves.
They turn into demons, actually, but it's okay. But all right, but anyway, but I still feel like you'd be, and then you have an ability, like especially if you can really control it, where you can turn on your own demand to be a werewolf.
Like if you could command it, that'd be cool. Yeah,
like you would.
It was like it did like if it didn't have to be a full moon, and you're like, hey, I need to turn into a werewolf because I need super strength or whatever.
Yeah,
or the speed. Or
well, and that's how they did it in.
You'd be like a fucking super.
In Underworld, they did that, right? Didn't he? Wasn't he able to do it?
They were able to do it, I think, but not like full on.
No, but I thought the main one,
the guy that had vampire and werewolf blood.
No, not the half breed,
or whatever.
not the one that was made by them.
Oh,
the one dude who was the slave, who then
because he was like an elder or some shit like that. I think.
Hang on, now I gotta look it up.
That's what I'm doing.
Fuck, what's this dude's name? Underworld. All right, let's see.
Cast. Here we go. Let me see. Let me see what we get. This dude right here, Michael Sheen. Doesn't really.
Come on,
stupid thing. Come on, intranet.
Yeah, I'm not talking about Scott Speedman's character.
Yeah, no, he was
his character.
No, it talks about his like filmography or whatever.
Or go down. Wait, keep going. Celine.
Victor.
Yeah.
No, Victor was the vampire.
Lucian. So like Lucian's character.
Yeah.
Like he was able to control it. Because remember, when he needed to, he pulled off the thing and fucking became the werewolf.
It was the collar that kept him in check. Well, it was was it the one the chick gave him in the third movie, which was like a prelude?
Well, in the prequel, they had the werewolves had the collars on so that they couldn't turn into werewolves, because then they would die from it. It was silver, a silver collar. Yeah. But then during the day, they had the werewolves that patrolled around to keep them all right. But he was the only one that would be able to do it on demand. Yeah. So I feel like if you were able to do that, why was Kate Beckinsale replaced in Underworld?
This is just like people ask.
She wasn't replaced.
No,
Underworld 6.
I think they made movies without her. They made that prequel one. She wasn't in it.
Well, yeah, because she wasn't born yet.
True, but still,
they had to explain, where they came from.
I felt like
the crazy thing is that you can watch that one as number 1, and it fits perfectly.
It does,
because it ends with the beginning of Underworld.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you have the ability to control it, that would be a fucking awesome thing to do.
It would be.
And you just make sure you don't become a dick, and you just use your powers for good.
Dude, like I don't know if you've ever seen or read anything about like Vampire Hunter D. Awesome manga. Awesome. Like they got 2 movies. One's like a 1985 movie, which is like the animation's not the greatest. But if you see the one that came out in like 2000 something, dude, that thing is fucking awesome. It's a Vampire Hunter D Bloodless. Watch it. It's an anime. It's like fucking poetry for your eyes, dude. If you like that gothic steampunk.
I don't mind steampunk type stuff.
Yeah. It's like a vampire gothic type steampunk movie. It's pretty cool, dude.
Huh.
But yeah. They that dives into vampire stuff a lot. They got mutants, werewolves and shit. It's pretty cool. But
yes, Rona Mitra was the chick in Underworld Rise of the Lycans. She was Victor's daughter.
Yeah, that she got with Lucian, and Victor had his whole war with the Lycans after that.
Yep.
But yeah, it would be cool to have that and fucking control it, or you could just be a Super Saiyan. Whatever.
Okay.
Take your pick, man. If we're talking about picking superpowers,
I don't know. I still would rather be a fucking werewolf, dude. I don't know. It'd just be cool.
Yeah. Well, the Saiyans were kind of werewolfish.
Well, once they got up to a certain level, though.
No, if they had the tail and there was a moon, like a full moon, they would turn into like the great ape.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want that because it's just they never seem to control that shit.
They did if they matured.
Yeah, but you're gonna be a fucking dick.
They turn into like a fucking skyscraper type.
Yeah, but
ape.
I wouldn't want to be that big.
True.
Cause like,
well, you can get your tail cut off and still have the strength.
But say like that shit happens and you're like, fuck, I just broke everything that I liked because the fucking moon came out.
Yeah.
You know, like at least you know it's a full moon. The fucking werewolf be like, all right, I'm gonna go to Wyoming. Then
I'm gonna go to Montana.
Yeah, you fly out there for the week or a weekend trip. Like you and your other werewolf buddies are like, hey, dudes, we're gonna go to the fucking woods, right? Yep. All right.
Now you got buddies. The Werewolf Express is leaving today at...
Well, all right. What do wolves run in?
Packs.
There you go.
Yeah. You're right. Well, you're right.
But see, then you can have a group of werewolves that do good.
Yeah.
Okay.
The good wolvies.
Yes.
Yeah. The do-gooders.
Yes. See? Sometimes there's good ideas that come through, man. Sometimes.
Easy there, Skinwalker.
But now that we were turning this into a light topic,
let's get back to the urban legends.
Let's get back to some haunted places, maybe?
Yes, let's do that.
So
I did want to touch on this because this is an Illinois thing too, which is pretty cool.
It's kind of fucked up that a lot of this shit is in Illinois.
Well, I mean I looked into Illinois.
So is it like saying that this is hell?
I don't know, but like because this is the 7 gates of hell, yeah, it is 7 gates of hell in Illinois,
in Collinsville, Illinois.
Yeah, and the legend is that there's
there's like 7 viaducts.
Yeah, like underpasses, kind of.
Yeah, those are viaducts.
Yeah, and the cool thing is, I just found this. They got pictures of it.
Of every gate.
Yeah, look.
Oh, that's weird, dude.
1, there's 2, there's 3, 4.
Picture of a dick. What the fuck?
I don't know what that is. 5.
Huh.
They haven't loaded.
6.
6. They're all viaducts. 7. So the legend is.
What if you go through them backwards?
I don't know what happens if you go 1, 2, 4, 5, and then you fuck it up.
Well, I think if you miss one, there's something wrong.
Yeah.
It sounds like they might be in a row.
Well, it's not like they have numbers on them, you know. But so urban legend, the rumors are rampant around these gates. There are stories of hanging KKK meetings, satanic rituals, and paranormal activity by these 7 gates. Whether they are true or not, the dark atmosphere surrounding these gates is undeniable. So urban legend with this was a while back, talking like probably 50s, 60s, if I'm not mistaken. This pack of kids went through the gates.
Did you say a pack of kids?
Yeah, it was kids in a
a pack of kids.
Yeah. They allegedly tried to go through the gates. Okay, so the legend was these kids a while back. It doesn't say on here. But, so there's these 7 gates. I'm not going to disclose the locations because I don't even know where they are right here.
It says it right there. If you go up.
Yeah.
Well, in Collinsville, like Lebanon. And if you go down further, it says like the different streets.
Yeah. I don't want to divulge that information. I don't want people like later saying like, hey, I tried this and it didn't work, or hey, I tried this and my kid died, or some shit like that. But so there's these 7 viaducts that they were going through, these kids a while back, and if you go through them in order, and the last one, if you time it right and you go through midnight, allegedly you go to hell, like legit go to hell. Legend with these kids was they went through them, and on the 7th one, they crashed and died. So they kind of did go to hell, maybe? I don't know.
Well, here, go to the 7th one. Like, I just want to see, like, if there's a reason why. That's probably why they died. Go back up. So if you're going through that, they probably went up and crashed into something because they were probably driving like assholes.
Maybe. But they're the so.
Oh, wow, that's all the way down there. O'Fallon. Wow, holy shit, that's far.
Yeah.
That's a pretty long drive from here.
Yeah. So if you want to go,
No, I don't want to go.
Well, no, I'm not saying you, but like if somebody were to try this, you would have to time it to try to go through the last one at midnight. It's pretty crazy. Because, I mean, we did talk about the other thing because they brought it up in Supernatural, and I did look into it, like how the 7 portals of hell are spread out throughout, unfortunately, the U.S.
Yeah. Yeah, everything for some reason is always spread around the U.S. Like, they never had, like, the 6th portals in Germany.
Yeah. The 7th portals in India.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure they have their own, like, folklore.
Yeah,
but with, like, Shika and Shiva.
But seem like, but why is it so, like, especially since when biblical times are going on, like, this place was non-existent. Where they just like, let's put it over there because there ain't nobody there.
No man's land.
There's just some Indians, like, they don't give a shit. They're worried about skinwalkers that we put there.
I mean, to the credit to this, the 7 portals is there was KKK meetings, satanic rituals and shit going on around these viaducts. So there's some bad juju around there. Like it says right here, 2 urban legends around these gates. The first one is if you drive through each gate, order from 1 through 7, and you go through the final exactly at midnight, a portal from hell will open. When a portal is open, hellhounds will come and drag you to hell. Supernatural type shit. The second is if you drive through the gates in reverse from 7 to 1, like
there we go. All right.
Like you were asking, in reality will appear. A tear in reality.
A tear. I was like, I'm like, in reality will appear. I'm like, what?
You could glimpse into it by looking back as you drive through the gates. Supposedly you will get a view into hell in your rear view mirror. Oh, that's pretty cool.
No, I'm good.
No, I'm good too, man. I've had my share of scares. I could do without. I like hearing about them though.
I like how it says like you could pull over and take a quick picture if you want. Like, what the fuck?
No, you know what I would. You know what pretty messed up. It's like, hey, let's go to them and like just like in random order and be like, oh, this is one. 1.
Yeah.
Just put numbers on
I'm
them.
sure there probably is something written somewhere.
They look like they're all vandalized.
Well, yeah, they're all tagged up, but I'm sure there's something that has like 1, 2,
3.
I don't know. It could stay down in O'Fallon, Lebanon area down there. I'm good.
Well, Lebanon. There was a story about Lebanon too. Or Lebanon.
Abaddon?
Lebanon, I think. Was it Lebanon?
Lebanon, Illinois, or Lebanon, like
I think they brought something up about Lebanon and Supernatural, and that's got to have some story behind it because they don't just throw shit in there.
Yeah.
There's so you and I have both seen Supernatural, A to Z.
Yes.
And a lot of the stuff has some backstory to it. It's not just like some random off the wall shit. Like even the one like you wanted to talk about the music place?
Yeah, Bobby Mackey's.
Yeah, and then I confused it with the Chuck E. Cheese type
place.
Yes. So even that, it was a true story with a McDonald's with the ball pit and the kids would like disappear. They brought that up in Supernatural, which is why I like that show because some of it is off the wall, but a lot of it there's a little bit of backstory to it. Like you're like, oh, okay, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, the 7 Gates of Hell is something that I was like, holy shit, and they're all in Illinois. Good golly.
Yep, it's cool. Thanks. Thanks, Pritzker.
If you look at our state, it's shaped like a...
Thanks.
Oh, never mind.
It's a guy upside down reading your newspaper. Thanks, JB.
Really? I never looked at it that way.
You never looked at it? It looks like a dude upside down with like a trench coat and a top hat or whatever. I don't know.
I'll have to take a look. But anyway, I digress. That was me 7 Gates of Hell little bit that I did want to get in there because urban legends, there's something in the curiosity within me that it's like, ooh, do I want to do it? And then I'm like, nah, I'm okay. It's like one of the like we were talking about superstitious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, nah, I'm just stitious. Like, I'd like to hear about it, but I'm not gonna try it. You know, I'm not gonna tempt fate.
No, I get you on that.
Like, there was the Bloody Mary one, the mirror one. It was kind of like the Candyman. Like they did do a version of that with the Candyman story. But
like, did you ever do light as a feather, stiff as a board?
Yes, that actually does work.
Yeah, that's weird too.
That is weird. But I think that's a concentration thing.
Yeah, but still, like, but then there was. I'm trying to think. Isn't there something like you're supposed to like? I can't remember what the other thing is. I don't know. I lost track of thought.
The one we did, I did it with a couple of friends. It wasn't laying down, but we did it with So there was this thing we did where we would sit somebody in a chair and they would just sit there, and the rest of us, like, there had to be 4 of us. One of, like, we would hold our hands like this, like with the pinky and the ring fingers crossed, and the 2 fingers out, the middle finger and the index finger out, and you would put a guy under each kind of like armpit, and one under each knee because he was sitting down, and we'd concentrate, and we wouldn't do like a chant or anything, but we'd concentrate, and we'd be like, okay, I forgot what we did. It wasn't a chant because we didn't dabble in that shit, but it was just like a concentration thing. And after so much time, we would like, all right, we're gonna lift you, and we would lift the person, and they were so light, dude. It was fucking crazy. So it was kind of like the light as a feather, stiff as a board kind of deal, but we didn't actually do the light as a feather, stiff as a board thing. But it was freaky how easy we were. Like, we lifted this person up to the ceiling. Like, we were like, oh shit, we gotta bring you back down because if we drop you.
yeah, that would suck.
But we did do that one. I think that's more like of a concentration thing, kind of like an astral dream, if you will. But yeah, that was pretty. Those things they're pretty cool if you live them, which I did. They didn't do it to me. They were like, "You're too fat."
They're like, "Come on, please be light as a feather."
No, this is back when I was still in shape.
Shit,
man.
you're not light as a
This
feather
is when
at
I
all.
was in shape, man. I had a 2-pack. It was just the top of my belly sticking out. Anyway. Anywho.
Yes. So we'll talk about some haunted places in the U.S. Yeah. So I'm going to go over probably like the 16 most haunted places.
Damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, and I'm sure there's pretty...
Oh, there's not 666 of them?
I'm sure there's probably a lot of them, dude. Like, number 1, Salem, Massachusetts.
Oh,
the Salem witch trials. So
good old Salem.
You know, it draws a lot of ghost hunters from all over the globe, and you know, you can really you got the witch's house, which was in Gallows Hill, where they were all executed. The old burying point, where clearly that's where they were buried.
Really?
And
they were buried
perhaps
there?
The scariest place of them all was the House of the Seven Gables. This is the same house that inspired the novel by American author Nathaniel Hawthorne. And visitors to the old Salem mansion, which is currently a museum, have reported voices right in their ears, despite no one being around. You might want to close your ears for this one.
Maybe you had your Bluetooth in.
Maybe. Number 2 is Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia. And I gotta say, dude, the South is one haunted fucking place.
I was just thinking that.
All right, like I could like, you got Georgia, you got Louisiana, Mississippi. I mean, come on, Mississippi's where the fucking crossroads is supposed to be at.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have like just a whole melting pot of fucking
Texas.
weird juju. Like Texas.
Not juju so much, but there's still like some stories.
Texas has like its spots, but I feel like
it's scary enough with narcos around.
Yeah,
there, dude.
Yeah, it's scary in other ways. So Bonaventure Cemetery in Savannah, Georgia.
Yeah.
If you're not ready to see statues in stone cold state of bliss, visitors have reported grinning granite, not to mention spooky sounds of crying children and barking dogs. If you do go, stop by a grave of young Gracie Watson and leave a toy at her marker. It might just lure her out of might lure her ghost out, since she likes to get gifts, and she might do a trick.
Was she a fucking dog?
That's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah.
Okay. I have no idea. And if Gracie doesn't fill your ghost quota, head to Kehoe House in the same area at the inn and people have gotten fucking choked by apparitions.
Hey, you like getting choked and slapped?
Not by ghosts. Let's see what's... Oh, dude, the fucking Jersey Devil.
Yeah, New Jersey.
Jersey Devil in Pine Barrens, New Jersey. That's number 3. Let's see. Oh, dude, all right. So, the Gettysburg National Military Park.
Oh, yeah.
That place, I remember watching... I used to watch Ghost Adventures a lot on Travel Channel, which is a really cool fucking show. And they did one at Gettysburg. They did, and like you're hearing, like, I mean, I don't know how real it is, but like they were listening to EVPs and everything playback, and you're hearing fucking wartime shit. And they're seeing, and then they're seeing
muskets.
They're seeing through like infrared and everything else, like 1 or 2 apparitions here and there, and like heat signatures, but there's nothing there. And like, I mean, I could so see that fucking field, that battlefield, being haunted with how much devastation and death and trauma and everything that was there. You know, let's see, number 5. I don't know, Crescent Hotel. That doesn't really...
Is that the one in LA, right?
No, this one is actually in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And it's a luxury spa with 140 years of history. It does nightly ghost tours. Guests often pass out or feel faint at the same exact spot in the house. Turns out that the spot right above the morgue. So the inn had a morgue that was once owned by a fake doctor who attempted and failed to cure cancer patients.
It wasn't Dr. Kevorkian, was it?
No, Dr. Kevorkian was not a fake doctor. I mean, he was a legitimate doctor who people paid for him to kill them.
That's what... Okay.
Which is a whole nother topic, which like, I mean...
Haunted places go.
Look, all right.
I'm sorry. Did I open another can of worms?
Well, all I was gonna say, we won't even talk about it. That's something we can talk about another day. All right, we'll just keep going.
Campfire Stories Part 3?
No, Kevorkian is not worth a fucking campfire story. No, he's just a weird dude. Mackinac Island is a haunted place. Never knew that. Just thought it was a nice tourist destination. Yeah. Didn't know that they had witches on the island that died in a drowning pool, but they're supposed to be harmless.
Were they? Well, they could have been
good witches.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Well, there's the dude that screams at his brother-in-law or whatever. He's like, "She was the Wicked Witch of the East, bro." There's that, which was the, she was a witch.
True.
Princess-looking broad that came down in a bubble.
So, Bachelor's Grove, that made number 10.
Nice. So, we're on the list.
Yes. Right. Let's see. The Ohio State Reformatory. That is number 11. That one is actually pretty creepy. That's where Shawshank Redemption was filmed. The most terrifying part of the prison is solitary confinement, where people have seen shadowy figures and felt the club of a murdered guard still on patrol. Other haunted sites in the city include Bisman Building, home of the Spectator with a top hat and a little girl ghost, and the Renaissance Theater, where you might hear disembodied laughter and creepy music.
So, not to throw you off really quick, but this is the one I was talking about.
Oh, the Cecil. Yeah, the Cecil's fucked up.
Yeah.
There was a show about that one.
Yeah, it was a documentary one.
Yes, where the Waverly Hills Sanatorium in Kentucky. Yeah. That place, dude, this place is fucking massive. And there was they had there was like 8,000 people that were there with like 152 deaths. But it's like there's like slamming doors, footsteps, screams, tons of crazy shit that go on at this asylum. And like insane asylums, there is so much energy trapped in those places that, dude, I wouldn't want to be in a place like that at night ever. It's just a crazy fucking situation. And then let's see.
I don't think I'd want to be in a sanitarium like in the day, dude.
I've been in one when I was dropping people off when I worked at the jail.
Well, yeah, but
And
I'm
that
saying
shit
like
was weird.
like to go like, oh, I want to go there and see what. Nah, sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like either I would feel bad for the people that are there, I'd be like, oh man, how could you reason with them, or I'd be like, fuck that. That dude's got the look of a serial killer on his face. Fuck that.
And
then it could turn into like, hey, have you tried these pills?
Yeah. So number 16 on the list is Burkittsville, Maryland. And is the small town in Maryland was the setting for perhaps it was not the freakiest movie in the 90s, but it was the Blair Witch Project.
Not Derry.
Huh?
What was the one that was part of it?
It?
Derry, right?
What are you talking about?
Like It, the movie, where it was placed. It's an actual place in Maine, I think.
It might be. I don't know. But no, Burkittsville, Maryland was the Blair Witch Project. With like the first one, I didn't like. That was kind of dumb. It's
The
just
first one?
the first Blair Witch. The second one was actually better than the first.
The Book
one.
of Shadows or whatever.
Yeah, that one was way better than the first one.
Well, that's because
it was more like a movie.
Yeah, but the first one was. I remember.
The first one was dumb. Like the bitch is sitting there. You just see fucking boogers come out of her face. Like, all right, come on, just get it going. Like, come on, what's going on here?
So I remember when that came out. What year was that? Probably like.
We weren't in high school yet.
No, we were definitely teenagers, maybe preteens, but. So I remember when that movie came out. I had just gotten back from like summer in Mexico, and I forgot who I went to see it with, but they're like, "No, it's based on a true story," because that was the whole thing when it came out. It was like, "Oh,
well, that was the fake, fucking wraparound is that it's real."
Yeah, and then like I saw the movie, I was freaking out, I was like, "Oh my god, there's real witches and blah blah blah." I was a fucking preteen, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then I saw the chick, like the actress, on a fucking talk show. I was like, "Wait, didn't she die?"
Yep.
And I was like.
The only
bubble
cool,
burst.
The only cool thing about that movie is that nobody knew the other person's lines. They were all like they all had designated spots to go pick up their lines. Mm-hmm. So like you would go pick yours up, over there, and I'd go pick mine up like over upstairs. Here. Yeah. And we wouldn't know what the other person was going to say, what they were going to do, how they were going to act.
So it was kind of improv-ish.
It was improv, but you had your own script.
Yeah.
You had your own script, but you had no idea what the other person was going to do.
So your reaction was legit.
Yes.
Though I gotta say, the one thing I did like, I did like the scene at the end, where they just see the dude up against the wall and he's like, like comatose or whatever, and then like boom, just get knocked out and it's like that's the end of the movie, which is kind of like shitty, but it's also like. Cliffhanger.
Dude, I'm trying to think. What was the name of the? All right, this computer works faster. What was the movie in? It was kind of shot like Blair Witch, but it was about an apartment building in Los Angeles, and like they completely like it was called Quarantine.
No, that's Wreck. You're talking about Wreck, the Spanish movie.
No, I think I'm talking about.
Really?
Look up the movie just Quarantine.
Is that right? Quarantine?
Yes.
I think you're thinking about the movie Wreck, because that was a movie.
Quarantine, like the movie?
La movie.
No, I'm not talking about Wreck. This was a movie that was based. It was in L.A. and they had to go. It was like a news crew and like, it was LAP. Yeah, dude, this movie was fucking weird.
That's a remake of I think the Wreck. It's like the U.S. version.
Quarantine, a 2008 American found footage horror film, directed and co-written by John Eric Dowdle. Like, this was a weird movie, dude. It was weird. Yeah.
It might be different.
So, like, because in the movie there's some crazy outbreak or something, supposedly.
Okay, so let's see what it's based on. Film Wreck.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I didn't see the fucking Spanish movie Wreck.
It was pretty popular.
I didn't see it. I saw The Orphan.
The Orphanage?
No, was it The Orphanage or The Orphan?
The Orphan's the one with the little girl. The Orphanage is like a Spanish movie about an orphanage.
The Spanish scary movie.
That's about an orphanage. Yeah, it's
okay.
The Orphanage.
Okay, I thought it was The Orphan.
The Orphan's about the little girl who's actually like 57. She still looks like a little girl.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah, that was. There was a sequel too.
Really?
Crazy.
Fun.
Yeah. Yeah, no. That's why I was like quarantine. I was like, it sounds like Wreck. Yeah, because what you described is exactly like that movie. That actually was a fucking good movie.
Yeah.
And there's a sequel to it too, but the first one was legit.
Yeah, I liked Wreck. I didn't see Wreck.
I'm pretty sure it's the same thing, just dubbed, or in English. Because the other one's it's like full blown Spanish from Spain, so it's like, "Hey, tío, ¿qué te pasa?"
Oh no, this was all full blown.
And they
English.
got the lisp.
Yeah.
It was like Enrique Iglesias all over.
That was a weird movie, man. And especially at the end, would you actually see
the chick getting dragged away?
Yeah, but the dude, like the thing.
Yeah. It was like watching Signs for the first time.
Like the professor, the scientist, or whatever that was doing all this shit, and he became the fucked up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when LAPD is fucking the people in the apartment building.
Are you talking about the Spanish police?
No. Well, in the movie that I saw, when they got into one room, they were like opening up the windows to try to flag them to help them get out. And they were fucking shooting at them to get them to close the windows.
You stay in there. You done fucked up.
And then they put over like the tarp over the whole building to keep it in there. It was fucked up.
Yeah, dude. Quarantine came out in 2008. I think Wreck came out way before that. Yeah, but Wreck's actually like the original one. It's pretty good. You can watch it. I don't know if you're like me. I don't like watching movies with subtitles.
I don't mind it, but it depends on. I guess it depends on the language, because I could pick up on a good amount of Spanish, as long as it's not like, like fucking rapid.
Like when Talia talks to you.
Yes, yeah. When I say slow to fuck down, like I can understand you if you speak slower.
Yeah.
But like I can watch like Spanish movies and not really need the subtitles as much.
Yeah.
But like when there's those Japanese or like Korean movies, I need the fucking subtitles because I'm lost, dude. And just like, you're like, what did you just say? It sounded like you said like syllables.
Well, you hear the
yeah, and then you're just like, I hear a whole bunch of screaming, like what's going
old
on?
School Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee movies. Yeah, I hear you.
And I'm just like, nope, I need to see what they're saying.
Yeah.
And the best part is like those movies on Netflix.
The good thing is though, here I'll tell you this. For me, it's like a thing. I need to watch those like old Bruce Lee, Enter the Dragon type shit movies. I need to watch them in their native language. And I like to watch with subtitles. Yeah. Because that is like, I have no grasp of the language at all.
I completely despise the movies that like it's either like Asian or like Scandinavian where they completely overdub the actors.
Like the Bollywood.
It's like, there's some big dude and they're like, hi, how you doing? It's like, that is not what that guy's saying. His mouth is still moving and the words are done.
Yes, it's like that scene in American Pie. We will fight and move like the lightning.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what was the what was that game show movie or game show on Netflix?
I don't know.
The one where the
Squid Game?
Yes. Oh. Like watching that, and like they're.
Oh no, I had to watch that dub.
Like they're done talking, but the words are still coming out. Like that was getting so annoying.
Yeah.
Like the fight scene is going on, but you're still hearing what the dude's saying. He's like, he ain't talking right now. He's getting his ass whooped.
Yeah. Supposed to be a sequel to that too.
Yes, there is.
That was fucking addicting.
Yeah.
I like the first Squid Game.
Yeah, it was, but it pissed me off at the end. The end pissed me off. The old dude.
Yeah.
And then how the other guy's like, I'm gonna come back and find it all. Like, you asshole, shut the fuck up.
So you already won $1 billion.
Why didn't you go spend time with your fucking kid?
Yeah.
He just leaves his kid again. He's like, fuck it.
I gotta go save the people.
I have to go save these people who don't mean shit to me.
It's like Saw with money.
Yes.
Anyway.
All right, since we were talking about haunted places, there's one other place in Kentucky that is one of the scariest places at least I've seen on either like a TV show or anything, and it's called Bobby Mackey's Music World.
Yes.
And it's a nightclub in Wilder, Kentucky. And this place has urban legends for the site of hauntings, murders, and suicides. But however, there's really like no credible evidence that anything has ever really happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a roadhouse, like it's a real rundown looking fucking place, dude. And it is supposedly a gateway to hell and is haunted by spirits, including Pearl Bryan, whose corpse was found in a field 2.5 miles away from the site of Fort Thomas, Kentucky. Other legends claim Byron's murderers were Satanists who cursed the location and vowed to hunt everyone involved in prosecuting the case. There's also a legend that claims a pregnant dancer named Joanna committed suicide with poison in the 1940s, and her father murdered her lover, Robert Randall, a singer at the club, by hanging him in the dressing room. But then it's like there's like no records of any of this kind of stuff happening and anything else like that. But there's a lot of fucking paranormal investigators have gone to this place and have uncovered just crazy sounds, crazy images. I mean, getting scratched by apparitions, and then just a lot of demonic activity. And actually underneath the actual building is like, it looks like a well, but it's just like a hole to nowhere. And they said that like that's the gate to hell.
Like a sinkhole?
Yeah. And then, well, not even like a sinkhole. Like it's a perfectly like man-made looking hole, dude, that just goes down to nowhere. And then on the show Ghost Adventures, they went to that place one time, and they had a lot of crazy shit. But then they did like look up before we go to that, look up the what is that mansion in LA? Put like haunted mansions in Los Angeles. This place had like rooms to nowhere, and like a lot of paranormal connections.
It's kind of like the Oasis song.
Oh God, what the hell is the name of that place? It's a really crazy place, dude. But they did a live show where somebody was set up in that mansion, and somebody was set up in Bobby Mackey's, and the energies were fucking transferring through. There was like a portal that connected these two fucking places. Like
Bobby Mackey's in this crazy mansion.
Yes. Like it was, dude, it was one of the craziest things that I've ever seen, and it freaked me the fuck out. Like I can't think of the name of the mansion, but it was just like it had a whole bunch of rooms. Like it had a staircase that led up to a wall, and there was nothing up there. Like it just went up there. Then you'd open a door. You'd open a door, and there'd be nothing there, because there's all different portals that had different. Like this mansion was built with different portals to go into these other. I think is the Winchester Mystery House.
Is that like the actual, like, from the Winchester Legacy?
No.
Okay.
I think this is.
You know what I'm talking about,
yes.
though, right? Okay.
Oh, actually, I think it is, maybe. Yes, this place is fucking weird.
Yeah, it's the Winchester House.
Yes.
Yeah. There's a whole movie around that.
Yeah, dude, this place. And so they did a thing where there was somebody at the Winchester House and somebody at Bobby Mackey's, and things were traveling between it. And it was like they were using
underground tunnels, dog.
Okay, from San Jose to fucking Kentucky.
Hey, man.
But anyway.
Teleportation.
But the one crazy thing about Bobby Mackey's is that there's 3 dudes that was part of Ghost Adventures.
Yeah.
And one of the dudes had to leave the show because whatever was attached to him at Bobby Mackey's followed him home. And he was being like, he couldn't sleep. He was being terrorized at home. His wife left him. He lost like 30 pounds and actually had to like get almost like an exorcism type thing done to him, and he checked himself into like a mental hospital for a little while just to get away from it all. And it's just some crazy shit, dude.
Yeah, well, the Winchester House was like, I saw the movie, and the thing I took away from was like, wasn't it sometime every time somebody was killed by a Winchester rifle or gun, they had to build another room in the house or some shit like that.
I don't know. I don't know about that. All I know is that that place had a lot.
They have a lot of rooms. Like,
Well, there's a lot of rooms, but there's a lot of things that go to nowhere too.
Yeah, because they just built the rooms.
Yeah,
like we need to.
But it's a really weird place.
Yeah, it's sometimes claimed to be one of the most haunted places in the world. Yeah. No, that makes sense. You should watch the movie.
Like, I would love to go to haunted places, but I don't want
something clinging to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to bring that home, dude, and that's just one of the things where I'm like, eh.
I mean, I think all of us would like that thrill of being there and seeing it, but then there's always that, do I want to bring this shit home with me?
Yeah.
Or is it something I can recover from?
Oh, and that's another thing too, dude. Like, you put yourself through this. You're not only putting yourself through it, you're bringing it home to your family.
Mm-hmm.
And
not only that, they have to deal with you dealing with that shit.
Yep.
But go back to the Bobby Mackey's or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing I was telling you about where in the early beginning or late 1990s, the legend arose around children being severely injured, killed in ball pit encounters by vipers.
With vipers? Yeah. Who's assholes throwing fucking vipers into ball pits?
I guess.
Well, that's a dick move.
That is. Or hypodermic needles.
Well, that's another fuck. Yeah, you shouldn't do that to kids.
Yeah. No, but the one I told you about was there was like a hole or something, where they would just like the kids would disappear in the hole. They went to nowhere. But anyway, yeah, that's like a whole. That's a whole other thing. But when you said Bobby Mackey's, I was like, oh, is that like a Five Nights at Freddy type joint?
No.
You're like, no, that's
Speaking of Five Nights at Freddy's, that movie's going to be coming out.
Yeah.
And my boys want to go see it. I want to go see it too. The game is fun.
I'm sure my goddaughter would like to see it. I never played the game.
Oh yeah, the game's pretty fun. It's pretty crazy. So, ending our campfire stories, which the campfire's out. We didn't have it really going today. It's too nice outside for a campfire. We want to discuss a few of the Simpson prophecies that have gone on through the years to where it is, predicted that Matt Groening has a time machine and he goes into the future and comes back and writes Simpson episodes.
Well,
and I have 31 times, 31 fucking times that he has predicted the future correctly.
Okay, so that's one of those things before you jump into that. Is it life imitating fiction or fiction imitating life?
But dude, some of these things are a little crazy though.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Like here, number 1 on the list.
Trump becoming president.
Yes, Donald Trump becoming president. Season 11, episode 17, Bart to the Future.
So that was what, in like 96?
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah. Let me see. So this has, let's start with the most widely circulated prediction. The second time The Simpsons took a peek into the future, Lisa has become president of the United States. In a cabinet meeting, she offhandedly mentions, we inherited quite the budget crunch from President Trump. It initially was a reference to Trump attempting to run as a Reform Party candidate, but the words gained much more validity when Trump was elected president in 2016. The weeks after the election, the recurring chalkboard gag even read, being right sucks. The line gained more attention when Trump announced he was running for president yet again in 2024, which incidentally is the year that The Simpsons had originally predicted him to be president.
I think he's going to win, too.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know, but...
So here. Correctly predicting Super Bowls. Season 3.
Mm-hmm.
Episode 14, Lisa the Greek. The initial airing of a football-centric episode came only a few days before Super Bowl 26? Yeah. When Lisa correctly predicted the Washington Redskins would win. The next year, the staff decided to dub in the names of that year's competing teams that were once again correct with the call of the Dallas Cowboys as victors. The redubbings continued with moderate success over the next few years, finishing with another accurate prediction of the San Francisco 49ers over the San Diego Chargers in Super Bowl 29. I'm not going to do all of them. I'm just going to skip over a few.
Do the important ones.
Disney buying 20th Century Fox,
Mm-hmm.
Season 10, Episode 5. Establishing a shot at the end of Celebrity Heavy When You Dish Upon a Star shows the 20th Century Fox logo with a division of Walt Disney Company below it. Though it has been quite quick to poke fun at its parent company, the show certainly did not expect Fox to sell to Walt Disney. And that happened in July 2018, bringing Homer Simpson and Mickey Mouse into the same house.
Yep.
Underwater submersible emergency situation.
I shouldn't laugh, but
Season 17, Episode 10. Homer's paternity coot. In this episode, Homer believes a man called Mason Fairbanks to be his long-lost biological father. The two embark on an underwater adventure in individual submersibles to try and find the treasure in a sunken ship named Piso Mojado. But Homer gets stuck in coral and his oxygen levels keep dipping. He loses consciousness and wakes up 3 days later in a hospital. In 2023, many fans noted that parallels with real-life disappearance of the Ocean Gate submersible while carrying 5 passengers who were on an adventure to see the ruins of Titanic.
Mm-hmm.
Smartwatches. This was season 6. Season 6, dude. That was like 19.
Dude, that happened in Batman.
No, but I'm just. But
with
here, but
Alfred.
So, but here, this is Lisa's wedding. Was the show's first foray into the future, with several technology jokes in tow that ended up coming in fruition.
Yeah.
For example, a botched wedding proposal from Lisa's boyfriend Hugh prompts him to call an audible by talking into his watch. In 2013, smartwatches with voice recognition first came out.
Yep.
No, I don't like that one.
There's the coronavirus one.
Hang on, I'm not there yet.
Okay.
FIFA's corruption scandal over the World Cup results.
Yeah.
Season 25, Episode 16. Let's see. The Beatles sending belated fan mail. Season 2, Episode 18, Brush with Greatness. In the second season, Marge Simpson reveals in high school she sent celebrity crush Ringo Starr a painting. After decades passed, Ringo finally sends back a response fulfilling a vow to return all fan mail. The predictions seem to pass between the living Beatles, as in 2013, 2 women from Essex received a reply from Paul McCartney after sending him a mixtape 50 years earlier.
Damn.
Huh. Oh, the Siegfried and Roy tiger attack?
Oh, yeah.
Season 5, Episode 10. They talk about that, and then 10 years later, the fucking tiger went tiger on Siegfried and Roy. Let's see. There's some other really good ones. I have to find it.
Yeah.
No.
Well, just the sheer number 31.
Lady Gaga's Super Bowl performance.
Okay.
Regarded as one of the worst episodes of the show thus far, Lisa Goes Gaga. Featured an eponymous pop star visiting Springfield and aiding Lisa's self-esteem issues. When Gaga performed at the Super Bowl halftime in 2017, she noticed her wire-based, spark-laden stunt bore an uncanny resemblance to one of the many outfits during the episode. And it is.
Yeah.
Let's see. No. Oh, here we go. Faulty voter machines.
Are you talking about the George Bush?
No, it was Obama and Mitt Romney.
Oh.
So, in a cold open of the 19th installment of Treehouse of Horror, linked to the 2008 presidential election, Homer goes into a booth to attempt to vote for Barack Obama, only for the computerized machine to count it for John McCain. It took a full election cycle for this one to occur, as a 2012 viral video depicting a voting booth in Pennsylvania doing the same thing with Obama and Mitt Romney. Let's see, what are some other good ones? No. Ebola. The Ebola Outbreak. Season 9, Episode 3. In this episode, primarily set in 1990, Marge attempted to cheer up a forlorn Bart with a reading of Curious George and the Ebola virus. Though the disease had existed before the episode, Ebola had largest outbreak on record in 2014 and in 2015, affecting more than a curious little monkey.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. No. 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 No.
Is the Michael Jackson one in there?
Hang on, I'm trying to get to all of them. Well, no.
I remember there's a Happy Birthday, Lisa.
Yeah. NSA spying scandal. That was the Simpsons movie. And in 2007, the Simpsons leaped to the big screen with their film. When Marge discussed her plans to out government secrets were taken to headquarters of the NSA. Inside, there's a room full of monitors with a whole staff listening to phone calls in hopes of catching Americans most wanted. It was almost as if the real NSA were listening in on the film, as in 2013, Edward Snowden revealed to the public numerous secret surveillance programs that the agency was actually operating.
Yeah.
So, let's see what other ones they got here. And that shouldn't be it. There's way more than that. They predicted coronavirus.
Yeah.
But they, for some reason, deleted that one.
But I think that's one.
Interesting.
Are we talking Mandela effect here? The Mandela effect.
Yes.
That's another thing. The Berenstein Bears. Berenstein?
Berenstein, yeah.
Berenstein?
Yes.
Any more Simpsons predictions, prophecies? I mean, I know
no, those were the only really good ones on there. I mean, all the other ones are kind of just like...
I'm surprised the coronavirus isn't on there.
I'm sure that was taken down by a select group of people.
Oh.
Hashtag inside job.
Well, listeners, it seems we've come to the end of our rope for this episode.
Yes, we've had our fill of supernatural things for the night, and we need to put the fire out and go to bed.
Yes. We hope you like this episode, part 2 of the Campfire Stories.
Yes.
We'll try to do a third.
Down the line, yes.
Yeah, down the line. We'll try to do some more. Also, some more conspiracy theory ones are probably in line. Also, just, shooting the shit episodes. Either way, remember, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube. There's some other podders out there that we're on.
Podbean, Podchaser, iHeartRadio. I don't know. There's so many of them out there. The best one to find us on would be Spotify, I think.
Yeah, YouTube's out there too. The episodes line up. Just remember, a few beers in a shot.
And pretty soon, since we've gone along, what is it, 18?
I believe we're on 19.
Okay, 19, 18, 19. We will be up and running with video soon. So you can actually see our faces that are made for radio.
Yes, everyone will see my narco glasses that Kyle makes fun of me for.
Yes.
But, expect hoodies, hats. We got faces for radio.
Yes.
Anyway, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Campfire Stories, and we will catch you on the next one.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody.